Now, if you ask somebody today, what do you mean by intimacy? Usually what they think about is physical intimacy or sex, which, remember, this is feeling, touch, seeing. In other words, it's all surface stuff. But intimacy is more than that. And somebody says, well, how can you have an intimate relationship with God whom you cannot even see? Well, I agree that probably most people don't even have a good intimate relationship with their husband or wife. Because you see, watch this. They've been satisfied with surface. They've been satisfied with the flesh. They've been satisfied with what they can see and touch and feel, because that satisfies the surface things, but it doesn't satisfy what God placed in us, and that is a deep, yearning hunger for Himself. And so oftentimes, people who want to get married, you say, people say, well, I want to get married. Or they'll say, I need to get married. Now, here's what they're saying. I need an intimate relationship. And because either they don't know better, or because of sin in their life or whatever, they go after somebody they touch, see, and feel that satisfies the touchy, feeling, seeing that they want. She's got to be beautiful, he's got to be handsome or rich or whatever it might be. And so they get married, thinking that's going to satisfy this deep, abiding hunger that God has placed in every heart for Himself. And so people, in their desire to fulfill that deep, deep yearning, they go after material things or people, or position, prominence, prosperity, all the rest. None of that is going to satisfy you, because God created you and purposed in that creation to reproduce His life in you, which requires that He reveal Himself to you, and secondly, that we come into an intimate relationship with Him. Intimacy talks about closeness, oneness, unity. And so as we look at this, what I want us to see is I want us to take a look at what real, genuine intimacy looks like. What is it about? Because God desires that for us. And when you read what David said in the Psalms, he's hungering and thirsting and yearning after Almighty God. Somebody says, well, now, what's this all this hungering about? Listen carefully. Because listen, this could be one of the most important messages you've ever heard in your life. Because if you do not develop what I'm going to talk about, you're going to go through life and you're going to miss the ultimate purpose for which God created you. Now think about this. He didn't have to create you. He doesn't have any needs. He could create anything He wanted to. But think about what He created. This big ball of dirt, this globe, all these constellations and billions of stars out there, beautiful snow-capped mountains, deserts, beautiful trees, forests, oceans, creeks, streams, you name it, all of this. But you know what? He can't relate to them like He can you and me. He's created all that. He can enjoy His creative abilities. But He created you and me in order to have a personal, intimate relationship with us. And when a person lives their life and never develops that, they cheat themselves, but they also deny God of the one thing He desires above everything else. He wants to express His love toward us, His unconditional love toward us. He wants to express His goodness and His kindness. He can't express that to mountains and trees and forests. He can't express that to stars. In other words, all of that's all these are objects. But you and I are created beings. Remember what He said? In the beginning, He said, let us create man in our own image. What did He mean by that? Not so much physical, but the image of who He is. Spirit. There's something so awesome about God. And He said, let's create man in our own image so we can relate to Him and He can understand who we are. And I can love him and love her and shower upon them the goodness and the kindness and all that I am. That's God's purpose.